Iron Sheep. Midnight, what up? What up? Total Darkness. Artist Union. Time's up. They're leading youth astray, calling them dogs, calling her catty and shit when she created the gods. Rapping Masons used to wear ankhs and leather medallions, running and gunning in the Wild West, minus the stallions. No spurs on cowboy boots, but big fitted hats with tight jeans and retro shades just to dance and rap. Minstrel blackface show, that's BET, making you applaud the negativity that you see. Boogeyman in the closets, taunt and haunt you. Elder Moore say don't get brainwashed by the one-eyed monster. Staying close, stay online with eyeballs burning, fighting sleep like a miner, but you're still not learning. Uploading to YouTube in robes and turbans, pushing misconcepts like subconscious virgins. She didn't plant that seed, that was your ego, trying to exploit from your couch your own people. Go rent a community room, bring Black Dot down, or Kabahaya Watha Kameen to humble you clowns. Bring Sisters Akina or Bobby Hemmett, coons living in the depth but holding on to credit. On this mental walk, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self fighting the flesh. Split personalities caught in thought mesh. Hit a mental block, I told you, watch your step. On this mental walk, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self fighting the flesh. Split personalities caught in thought mesh. Hit a mental block, I told you, watch your step. Rapper think you're hot, I'm here to out your flame. Too much dressing like twins and doing the same. Chris Brown got probation, paparazzi chasing. She's no worse hiding bruises by makeup facing. Her contract extended, you're not paying attention. You did nothing but run like Reverend. Still get a knee in your back, enough back chat. Tased or lay flat from the baton clap. That's not racist, just the Christian black codes. The cross used to wear a crown that belonged to Rome. Now you wear it, but the same Romans killed your Messiah. From Yahshua to Sharif Abdullah Ali, don't call me a liar. From Nkrumah to Lumumba and Marcus Garvey. The Romans even killed Michael Jackson and Bob Marley. Ask a rapper to solve your problems, he'll help hardly. But he's on cribs with 2 Benzes and a souped up Audi. On this mental walk, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self fighting the flesh. Split personalities caught in thought mesh. Hit a mental block, I told you, watch your step. On this mental walk, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self fighting the flesh. Split personalities caught in thought mesh. Hit a mental block, I told you, watch your step. Shoe boxes to the ceiling, supporting this demon. No shoes, but lots of fiat, crooked cops are stealing. What you should have gave to the poor to pay some dues. And some bills from community moms with ill life blues. Got rookie cops and sergeants touring the world. And you locked up, looks bad on your baby girl. And your baby boys think it's a game with guns for toys. Fake fathers turn their backs on their bundles of joy. At risk, marginalized and troublesome. For moms while pregnant, sipping on a double rum. Acting like a witch on a broom, bringing sons not from the womb, but the tomb to the tomb. Being so ignorant is why we're born in sin. We'll learn from our lessons, let the teachings now begin. Open your mind, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self conquer the flesh. Split personalities become casualties, caught in thought mesh. I told you to watch your step. Split personalities become casualties, caught in thought mesh. Told you, watch your step. On this mental walk, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self fighting the flesh. Split personalities caught in thought mesh. Hit a mental block, I told you, watch your step. On this mental walk, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self fighting the flesh. Split personalities caught in thought mesh. Hit a mental block, I told you, watch your step. On this mental walk, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self fighting the flesh. Split personalities caught in thought mesh. Hit a mental block, I told you, watch your step. On this mental walk, watch your step. In these depths, you see the higher self fighting the flesh. Split personalities caught in thought mesh. Hit a mental block, I told you, watch your step. Iron Sheep. Standing in front Zion gates. Heaven's Gate guardsmen. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Mudra's on stage to the crowd, I'm a marksman. Crosshair, your pioneer, my dress shoes are Crocs, man. No square foot shoes, rappers just like cowboys. In tight jeans like Aerosmith, my time's now, boy. Y'all been on the mic, some of y'all fell off the stages. You got the ancients vexed, so they got me on your cases. Got me on the humble, but if you get it twisted, who will make you crash your car and blast you with spirits? No fear none, ritualistics make rapping dummies limber than some wet biscuits. Rise you like this quick, your bank account doubles. For talking arms out and making you get in trouble. You don't have to believe it, I call it as I see it, call me Simon. The more carrying the cross for pale Jesus. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the IHF and 2CMP squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the one open. Yo, handshake dead, man, we all grown up. Lousy doing the art, Seb won the Grey Cup. Demolition man, a married man, call it royalty. Vending at my lectures, showing the loyalty. Agents try to flop it and bump into Orishas. Give you their nightmares like deep sea creatures. Give you bad karma, cancel karmic credit. If I put your name on it, you wish I never said it. You wish I just said it. You plotted and you schemed. I saw you, visualizing the golden beam. Look through the stargate, a glimpse of the future made me see your judgment. And tell the thugs not to shoot ya. Medallions on string, thinking I'm a cheapskate. Fake rocks get locked, cut off like Buddhist beefcake. Fake Nuwapian get slapped with Dark Circle 7 and branded with Noble Drew Ali as a lesson. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the one open henchman out the squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the IHF and 2CMP squadron. Zion gate opener, heaven's gate guardsman, repping for the one open, repping for the one open. Intelligence. He's got a gun and badge as his defense. My offense is my rights with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. I'm back. More sheep, more iron, more heads in the hands and front mics crying, more props. Big up yourself, you sellout agent. Stopped at the light, nodding to this in your conveyance. General Khalid Muhammad said he's a Moor. Fake Nuwapian say don't put L after your. Fake NOI burn Elijah Food pics. All you could do is break my bones with stones and sticks. Toronto, conscious school town for boule clones. No entry with a felony, lectures over the phone. With intelligence, hence we don't break, we bend. Send energy back and forth in sequence, forth and back. Most don't want me on a track. I tell rappers about their tight shirts and showing ass cracks, not actions. Ignorance makes you a sinner. Get up from under and understand conscious beginner. Become energy dinner or appetizers. Speakers beg my flow to come through the amplifiers. With no mic check, few takes through mic wires. That's rappers co-defendants are gas liars. If he's got a gun and badge as his defense, my offense is my rights with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Some call the racists having us in their hands because of your ignorance and no intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Compliments on beats, no full metal. Rapping dummies, glaring ignorance wells and sea pebbles. You got nothing, frontin' like it's precious stones. Think you got money cause they gave you a loan. In the mirror, do you see X or P Newton? Do you see a black or more or a European? Do you see a Trinidadian or Jamaican? Or a member of Earth's first population? What do you see in the mirror? A goddess like T or a sellout? Supporting Master Hill figure? Ask in the mirror, how you looking straight veinless? Negroes see the God but act in ignorance. Some look and see wives of self-shapeshift. Some look and find the truth in eyes dark places. Revlon and Maybelline fake faces. Makeup can't hide ex-slave mental cases. With blonde weaves, that's not bad of course. Forgot to mention Rome, blonde hair identified horse. We are not guilty but want to be innocent. Guilt is responsible, intelligence. This is God a gun and bag as his defense. My offense is my rights with intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Some call the racists having us in their place because of your ignorance and no intelligence. Colors on our nations, just a semblance. Babylon's wall will fall with intelligence. Islam Moors, peace and love. You already know how the pop-up goes, because people like to talk crazy. So we'll start off first with, who were the Negroes before slavery? Who were the Negroes before slavery? Page 107. Based upon this letter from the National Geographic Society, there is no land by any of the names so-called Negroes have used: Negro, colored, black, African American, etc. The identity of a people must be connected to a land to be legal and proper. National Geographic Society, Washington, D.C., December 15th, 1983. Mr. Frank Nathan Wally Bay. Dear Mr. Wally Bay, thank you for writing to the National Geographic Society. We know of no geographical area that is referred to as Negroland, Black land, Colored land, or Afro land. Consequently, I am unable to pinpoint the location of this place for you. I regret I could not be of more assistance. Sincerely yours, Eugenia McGregor. But that's not all, they want more. What is nationality? Nationality is a heartfelt condition that any dedicated people are willing to die for. This is something that you believe in strongly enough to sacrifice all earthly values and dedicate yourself to in the mindset of one God, one aim, one destiny. When a people proclaim their nationality on whatever land they stand, it becomes serious. It becomes a serious issue to be reckoned with. It becomes a serious issue to be reckoned with. They have the protection of a treaty and are no longer willing to accept granted privileges, handouts, and mere tokenisms. They know that a good death is better than an evil life. Therefore, they refuse to live under deplorable conditions, taking whatever abuses the citizens choose to bestow on them. Call you back. To what the citizens choose to bestow upon them. For the so-called Negro, nationality is the missing key that has kept slavery alive even after the Emancipation Proclamation was ratified. Until such time when nationality truly becomes the order of the day, the so-called Negro continues to live in the shadow of his full potential, changing the names by which they call themselves, fighting for the crumbs that fall from the oppressor's table, and exhibiting the spirit of cowardice in the eyesight of the children who need someone to look up to. Who's going to save the children? The world knows now, and has always known, that the so-called Negro is heir to the great Moorish legacy. However, until the Negroes themselves wake up and recognize the greatness of who they are, their inheritance will continue to be withheld. Reparations will not be received, or any form of compensation, until they proclaim their nationality, because no one will take them serious as long as they continue to identify themselves by names given to slaves by slaveholders. Every other group who has received any form of payment as a result of enduring a certain condition had to properly identify themselves before payment could or would be made. This is the law, and the law must live. There is no way to bypass the fact that in order for a people to be recognized by the said government in which they live, they must own up to their proper name and birthright. If not, they are outside the constitutional folds, and no one is bound to honor, respect, or include them in the distribution of the country's wealth and resources. The powers that be have not made nationality a mandatory issue for so-called Negroes, mainly because it is more beneficial to keep them in a category where they are regarded as criminals or potential criminals. Currently, there are millions of so-called Negroes in jails and prisons across the country who represent large revenue to the tune of $60,000 to $70,000 per year per person in America's criminal justice system. Those people who function on granted privileges and tokenisms are looked upon as criminals or potential criminals, and it is upon their backs that the criminal justice system has survived so well. It is easy to attribute the absence of nationality and a sense of self-worth to the demise and downfall of the so-called Negro, who is still a prisoner of war. The War of 1491 in Spain, even today, over 500 years later, the condition of post-traumatic stress syndrome is present in the lives of the children of the Moors, who have been kept in the dark about who they are. If nationality was not an important issue, then why would millions of dollars be designated for the Department of Immigration? Wake up and return to the children of the Moors their just due. Remember, there is no place to hide, and God is watching you. There's no place to hide. You try to hide, but there's no place to hide. They can play hide all they want, but there's no place to hide. Islam, Moor.
Yeah. Islam. Quick question for you, Grand Chief.
Yeah, Moor.
Could you read those numbers again that for the prison system? How many people are in those prison systems that are Moors?
Currently, there are millions.
In the millions, right?
And then this was published in 2000. This book I'm reading.
Okay.
This is 19 years gone.
Yeah. I wanted to know that because we also know that there's a group that's making notes off of our people being in that, in that.
Oh,
dungeon.
yes, exactly.
So there's people making notes off of us being in here.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why they don't want to tell who we are, that nationality. Because like you said, because people are benefiting off of us not having our nationality. And then when you read those numbers, I was like, oh, of course. That's why that's why the so-called Nation of Islam won't tell us our nationality, because it's beneficial for us to stay Negro, colored, black.
They're getting their check.
Yeah.
They've been getting their check from the so-called white man, from the devil, from the Jew who's not the Jew, from the synagogue of Satan. They've been getting their check.
Which is that's crazy, man, to see that. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
They get federal funding from that, for them going into those so-called prisons and trying to help the people in there by becoming Muslims. They getting checks and stuff like that. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's becoming black Muslims. Becoming black Muslims. All right. So we wanted to just continue from yesterday because I was listening to the Aboriginal guys this morning and they had me tight. So I figure you might as well spike back them some more in the head tonight. And anybody else who's down with these, they're not Moors, but they're Aboriginal and Indigenous dirty Moors. Right? You want to put it on the record that there are some Aboriginal and Indigenous who are dirty Moors too, because we know that they're Moors. And the fact that they're not talking about nationality lets you know that they are working with the other side. That's just what it is. Whether you want to accept that or not, that's up to you. But we already know what's up because we got nationality and we're not budging. Just like we say, we'll die for this because this is something to die for. People die for nations. People don't die for adjectives and continents and islands and whatever. People who die for those stuff, they're collateral damage. They're not dying for anything. They're not martyrs. They're just cannon fodder. So we'll go to our good brother, Aboriginal and Indigenous Moor, Ali Melbay, his book, The First World Order. And again, putting this on the record that this is a Moor's book. So we're going to go through books, articles, newspapers. Some of them are going to be from Moors, because one thing we know with these Aboriginal and Indigenous dirty Moors is that they never give you a reference, and they don't have any scholars to back up their claims. All they keep doing is showing you some Europeans talking. All they keep doing is showing you some records of some Europeans that documented something, but they don't have their own scholars talking about what they're supposed to be talking about. Right? And don't be talking about Islam Moors, Supreme Chief Holiday, because you're not about no Islam. We heard you on your stuff yesterday, FOH. You're not about no Islam. So don't come over here, placate, and try to make Moors think you're down with us or something like that by you saying Islam. Because you already know you're not down with any Islam. Right? We know that you're not down with any Islam. We know you're not down with Moors because we heard you guys on your channel yesterday talking this BS about you're not Moors. We're not no effing Moors. We're Aboriginals and all this BS. And for your information, dumbass, there ain't nothing to call in here. Ain't no call-in number because we show our face here. We don't hide behind screen share around here. This is not hide behind screen share. This is show you the books, show you the documentation, so we can put it on the record that you people are dirty. Matter of fact, let's just start right now, just to get it out the way. Let's just start right now with some of these. Now, you're claiming that you people are Aboriginal and Indigenous, right? Well, if a totem could wear a fez and a totem is Aboriginal and Indigenous, who the hell are you people? Who are you guys? Somebody who's Aboriginal and Indigenous had to carve this totem. If a totem pole could have a fez on, which would mean that a totem, because fezzes don't come from Masons, according to you guys. You guys talking about we stole from some Europeans who are Masons. Dummy, Moors taught the Masons everything that they know. So don't tell me about fezzes came from some Masons. So if your Aboriginal and Indigenous people could have a totem with a fez on, and we know that a totem is not a Mason, since it comes from nature, it has to be a Moor, because Moor also means land, and trees come from land. Trees don't come from anywhere else but land, and land is called Moors. In case you have it twisted. Totem has a fez on. You're telling me some BS about you guys aren't Moors, but a totem has a fez? F.O.H. We're not the ones. We're not the ones. You might be used to those Moorish Science Temple of America Moors who stay in some building and say that they're Moors. We're not those Moors. I'm letting you know right now. You could play those little games that you play. We'll send you what link? I ain't saying no damn link, and we're not going on your platform. We have our own platform, FOH. Nobody asked you to come over here. And don't forget, our chat is not you guys' chat. You will get shimmitard in our chat because we don't play block people that we don't like how you guys play. We don't play put people in timeout like how you guys do. You're going to sit there and you're going to take all of it that you get from everybody in the chat. Oh yeah, we're scared. We're scared because we don't want to go on the chat and we don't want you to call into the, shut the hell up, nigger. Shut up. We're not those Moors I told you. Here's another totem with a fez. Don't debate Moors. Go debate the Aboriginal Indigenous people who carved these that put fezzes on them. Don't tell me nothing about Moors and we're cowards. How about you go debate the Aboriginal Indigenous people who made these totems? Go debate them. Go debate them. Don't tell me nothing about Moors and come in our chat talking crazy like we're paying you any mind. We have chat muftis. We're not worried about you. You're nobody. You're a dirty Moor that calls yourself Aboriginal and Indigenous. Just like I told you in your chat that you guys are the sellouts. You guys are the ones, because I know you niggers didn't carve this. I know some pale skin, I know for a fact some pale skin Indians made this totem, not you dark skinned niggers who don't want to be Moors. If they know what's up, they even made it brown for you. But you don't want to be Moors? You don't want to get on board with what we're dealing with? You want to play like you're some Aboriginal, Indigenous, or whatever? And if we ask any of you people go in your pockets, you're not pulling out anything as far as identification or paperwork saying that you're Aboriginal and Indigenous. But you're a chief though. Chief of what? What tribe are you a chief of? No, chief. You're some nigger on YouTube. What chief? Let me tell you something. Let me just put it on the record right here. Right? I have a sheepdom certificate. So I'm an actual sheep. You could play that BS like you're a chief all you want. Here's my stuff to let you know that I'm a grand sheik. Grand sheiks have these. Certificate of sheepdom. And there's our seals on it too. Moorish Science Temple of America seal, Moorish Divine and National Movement seal. Get the hell out of here. You guys aren't no damn chiefs. You guys are fakers. The chiefs are the fake Indians. The real chiefs are the sheiks of the Moorish Science Temple and the Moorish Divine National Movement. The real sheiks are the viziers. The real sheiks are the executive rulers of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Those are the real sheiks, which are the chiefs. It's not you people. You people are fakers, or what we call dirty Moors, because you want to be everything except being who you really are. Oh yeah, and it's not just me too. There's a lot more. You there? I know you might have a little bit to give them. You might be muted.
Definitely was muted.
No worries, man.
Because my whole thing is, every time I always ask, where are the Aboriginal Indigenous to? You know, America is a continent. What are they doing? Like, in the continent over there, there's a certain amount of countries in it. And when you ask them their nationality, they give you a certain country from that continent. When we ask these people what's their nationality, once again, what is that? I didn't say a tribe. I said, what's your nationality? And that's the thing. They start, like I said the other day, they get this story. They're going to say American, which we just broke down again. You can't use that. That's a continent. You know, they got South America,
continent's
North
not
America.
A nationality. Continent's not a nationality. So FOH with your American, that's your nationality. Stop it. Go ahead, Moor.
And that's the whole thing. Because once you just get rid of it, it's like, okay, we know this on a regular basis. American is not a nationality. United Statesian is not a nationality. Because as soon as we start looking up all this Indian stuff, it says that you guys are indigenous to United States. It starts saying stuff about you guys being tied to the United States. Nothing to do with the land. Nothing. Back to corporate, chattel property.
No different than a Negro. See, just like a Negro. Property.
Yep.
Just like a Negro.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They changed, like we said the other day, they went from the black adjective to Aboriginal Indigenous adjectives. They just switched adjectives. That's all they did. Still never tied themselves to a land. I love how the thing you read earlier about the letter to National Geographic explaining to everybody there is no Negro land. There is no Black Adonia. There's none of that.
Oh, quick interjection. Matthew Jones, you just go on YouTube and look up Kudro and the Moors go after Ali Muhammad. Forget that Arna BS, right? Forget that BS. Because all these people know what's up. All these people know what's up. There's Ali Muhammad's book right there that he's going to tell you is out of print or whatever because they don't want you to get these facts about the Moors that these people already put on the record, and now they're trying to play like they don't know what's up. Now, how come Ali Muhammad's book is going to have all these pages right here? You see it says Noble Drew Ali right there? Noble Drew Ali. He has all these pages on Noble Drew Ali? You think he doesn't know what's up? He's talking that Aboriginal and Indigenous whatever. He has all these pages right here about Noble Drew Ali. He has all these pages on Noble Drew Ali, and you're telling me that he doesn't know what's up? Please, stop the BS with the Arna BS. This is Morocco. And all these Aboriginal and Indigenous people know that Turtle Island is a myth. That's folklore. That's not a reality. That's a fraud. We're not talking about no Arna because that's a fraud. We're not talking about some Amaru tribal government BS because that's a fraud. The only thing that exists around here above Mexico is Morocco.
Yep.
And that's the vast estate of the Moors. All right, let's go to page 28. Let's just see what he has to say about Noble Drew Ali, right? Let's just see, since people like to play around. Now, ask yourself, why would he go through all of this? All right? Why would he go through all of this? It is this same man, David Ford, W.D. Ford, that is witnessed in the 1929 Moorish Science Annual Convention as saying he would bring America to his knees for the death of Noble Drew Ali and the attacks made on the Moorish Americans by local police in 1929. And that was from an interview with Anderson L. of Baltimore, done by Carl Evans and cited in The Messenger. The Messenger is NOI stuff, right? 1 month later, the stock market crashed and many of the former Moors and Masons saw this man as a prophet and followed him to Detroit, where the Nation of Islam was born. In the beginning stages of the movement, he was known as Prophet W.D. Fard. Think all these people don't know what's up? All these people are selling you out because they're not telling you about your nationality and your birthrights. Understand, Matthew Jones, with a clear conscience, that if you have a high concentration of melanin. You're a Moor, first and foremost. You can't not be a Moor if you have melanin. If you have melanin, if your pigmentation is darker than a European, you're a Moor. Period. What you're going to do with that information now is what's important. Now that you know you're a Moor, what are you going to do? You're going to keep playing these nigger games with these people? Talking about your Aborigines and your all these fictions? You can't be a fiction. You can't know that you're a Moor and claim to be a fiction. If you know that we're Moors, if you heard that we're Moors, and then you start talking about, no, we're not that, we're something else, yeah, you're a sellout. That's what it means when we say people are sellouts. Because everybody knows that the tribal BS, even Bob Marley told you tribal war, forget the tribal BS. What tribe are you talking about? That's why there's problems, because everybody wants to be tribal. Whether you call it Pentecostal, whether you call it Christian, Islamic, whatever, whether you call it Negro, black, colored, whatever, whether you call it this group, that group, that's tribal. That's tribal. Tribal is segregation. Tribal is not unity. Tribal creates wars. Go ask the Tutsi and the Hutu and all them people. As soon as they start playing tribal stuff, wars happen. Because some tribe is going to think they're better than some other tribe. You can't do that with national, because everybody's on the same playing field. Doesn't matter what your religion is, doesn't matter what your finance bracket is. We're all Chinese. We're all German. We're all Dutch. We're all whatever nationality that they are. And people keep playing with us. We're the only ones people keep playing with. Nobody else is playing games. Nobody else playing yellow rights, yellow on yellow crime and all that stuff. Nobody's playing that BS because they know it's a fiction. Nationality is the order of the day. Nobody's not seeing a Chinese get shot and talk about, oh, I don't want to be Chinese anymore because the Chinese over there are triads and then they're doing illegal stuff, so I don't want to be Chinese. Only our people play those stupid stuff like that. Nobody else. And don't be talking about no rest in paradise to Prophet Noble Drew Ali and all that stuff, because you only said that on this channel. Never heard you say that ever on your channel. If you honor Noble Drew Ali so much, how about you go on your channel and do a program on Noble Drew Ali? How about that? Instead of talking BS about we're not Moors. If you honor Noble Drew Ali so much, you as an Aboriginal Indigenous, who Noble Drew Ali was Aboriginal Indigenous, he was Cherokee, show him honors. And do a whole 5 hours, 8 hours or whatever, like you do all the other BS. Do an 8 hour whatever on Noble Drew Ali, if you're so with the Prophet. Let's see. Let's see how serious you people are about Noble Drew Ali, since you want to tell him rest in paradise and all this BS. What paradise is he resting in? He told us that's a soul plane. What paradise? What rest in paradise? He went to a soul plane because he could do greater work there than he could do here with you niggers playing games with him. It's a lot more.
It's I just want to, this is coming out of the Oxford Dictionary of English Etymology on page 941. The word tribe says a community of persons, we know what persons are, claiming a common ancestor, especially each of the 12 divisions of Israel that came from the 15th century, 13th century. And in the 12th century, it says, one of the political divisions of the ancient Roman people, a race of people, class or set of persons, group in the classification of animals, etc. So again, the ancient Roman people, one of the political divisions of the ancient Roman people, that's their tribe, or persons, which we know is corporation, corporate. They keep saying tribe. Like, tribe don't mean that. Tribe means that. A set of Roman people has nothing to do with who they supposed to be. I thought they said it was Indians. Why is this referring to them as Roman? And once I see that, it's like, once I see, okay, I see what side you're on. That's why you don't like when you say with Moors, because you have to push the Roman agenda.
Oh yeah, you're asking about stuff. You're asking questions. Playing games. Playing games, asking questions, huh? Playing games, asking questions, huh? All right, let's just answer you quick, fast. Again, we're gonna go to the master teacher, the Moorish, BA, ADD, DD, RMT, GS, GHP, and all the other stuff. You guys talking crazy. Right? The oldest definition of the word Moor. Remember, all vowels are interchangeable. In the language of Kamau, means the deity Amen, the hidden one, as well as it means high priest. Let's not be confused, because Tamaray, Egypt, is actually a remnant of that which came from El Moria, Lemuria, Mu, and Atlantis. Even Sumeria is an extension of Tamaray. The word Kemetic is not the name of the people who resided in Tamaray. Tamaray, or land of truth and light, they were known as Kamau, spirit of light. Kemet is the name of the black soil. The soil is red because of the cataclysm that happened many years ago. Read the Ebers Papyrus. Not the black people. Kemnu is the term for black people, as we have erroneously been taught. The Merus, or Moors, a complete nation of high priests, knew that highest knowledge was to know that man and creation are one and the same. The earliest form of Moor is MER. And that goes back to ancient Egypt. And you just, when the origin of the hieroglyphics is, that's the origin of Moor, MER. And it was representative of an owl. And again, MER means the deity Amen. How old is Amen? How old is Amen? How long has Amen been around? How long? How long have high priests been around? How long have high priests been around? Now again, just to put it on the record. If they're gonna make a Montezuma statue and call it a Blackamoor statue, but it's of Montezuma, what does that say about Montezuma? If they're gonna have a statue of Montezuma and call the statue a Blackamoor statue, and they're saying that Montezuma had a Moorish hat and all this type of stuff, what are they trying to tell you? Aren't they telling you that these people are Moors? He's not Aboriginal and Indigenous. That's Moorish. Only statues like this are Blackamoor statues. They don't make Indian statues like this. Sorry. They don't make Aboriginal Indigenous statues like this. Sorry. Good try. This is Moorish. You be in denial all you want. But like I said, if you honor Noble Drew Ali so much, you go on your little platform and you do what you see that 8-hour BS. Don't tell me about we did stuff about Noble Drew Ali and you have some 1-hour thing. No, the 8-hour stuff that you do, talking BS, screen sharing BS, do a 8 hours on Noble Drew Ali. Since you want him to rest in paradise and you give him honors and all that, go do that. Let's see you do that. Rep Noble Drew Ali like that. If you're about rep some Noble Drew Ali. If you're about, doesn't matter who said that. The point is that they didn't call him Aboriginal Indigenous. They didn't make a statue of him and say it's an Aboriginal Indigenous statue. They called it Moorish. Why would they call it Moorish if that's not what it is? Because you guys not arguing with the European, all those books that you're quoting, with European telling you that Indians and Aboriginals, Indigenous and Cherokees, and you got Chippewa dictionary and Cherokee dictionary written by Europeans. You're not arguing with them, debating them. You're not saying you're not going to use that and all that stuff. But as soon as European talks about Moors, oh, now, there's a problem with saying Moors because the Europeans said it. That's a black mindset, which again lets us know that you're a sellout if you're thinking like that. Because everybody knows that it was Asiatics who taught the Europeans everything that they know. So if a European is going to say something, guarantee they got it from Asiatic. They didn't get that from themselves. There's a caveman. You tell me the caveman made up languages? The caveman has knowledge of something that he got on his own.
Yeah.
For real? So you're giving caveman that much credit. You're telling me because Moors say, we're Moors, and a European said, hey, that's a Moor over there. That means that they called us that? You're a dumbass. Your 1 and 1 does not equal 2. Your 1 and 1 equals some other stuff that you're talking about. Just like you clowns didn't know that black is an adjective. You're talking about black is a religion. Talking crazy.
Black is a religion.
Black is a religion. You're not teaching me nothing. I don't need to be taught by a stateless person. Stateless person can't teach me anything other than being stateless.
Yeah.
What are you going to teach me that you're stateless? You're calling yourself chief. Where'd that come from? That didn't come from some Indians. That didn't come from some Native Americans. Because all these people know that chief comes from sheik. All these high priests with the long pipe and stuff like that. Let me just show you, just since you want to pretend like, you don't know what's going on or whatever, right? All these dark skin high priests and Indians and stuff like that, they wore tunics and they wore fezzes and they rep 5-point stars, just like Moors. The hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
All you people do is screen share your stupid profile picture. You guys don't prove anything. All you do is sit up there and talk BS. Like we're saying, the Moors rep the 5-point star. Here's a dark-skinned Indian. He's dark-skinned. He's not some pale Indian. He's not pale. He's dark-skinned. How come this dark-skinned Indian is repping some 5-point star? Just like the Moors do. How come this dark-skinned Indian is wearing a shawl? Just like the Moors do. How come he's wearing a furry fez? Just like the Moors do. How come he got the feather hanging down like a tassel, just like the Moors do? How come he's got a tunic, just like the Moors do? Why? How come he has a heart in the middle of his scarf, which a heart represents love, which is the Moors' first principle? What are you talking about? Who are you people? Who are you imposters? Pretending that you're Aboriginal Indigenous. Oh yeah, you're dirty Moors. That's who you are. Because even the Aboriginal Indigenous people know that they're Moors. That's why they dress like Moors. You think they dress like Moors for nothing? They dress like Moors because Moors colonized them? No, they dress like Moors because they know who they are more than your dumbass knows who you are. That's why. That's why. No, caught up in word spells. No, we're not caught up in word spells. We're showing you pictures right now. What the fuck are you talking about word spells? What words? This look like words to you? How about a picture says 1,000 words? How about that? Why is this Aboriginal Indigenous wearing a fez made of straw or beads or whatever? Why are they wearing this? They wearing this just because they feel like it? You people are dumbasses. Don't want to be Moors. You're not Moors.
Word spells.
You're not Moors.
How do you spell?
How you not Moors? When the Aboriginal Indigenous people of today, the modern ones, they got fezzes on. The modern Aboriginal people, they got fezzes on, but you're trying to tell me that you're Aboriginal Indigenous and then these people are imposters. I really think that these people are more in tune with the culture than your dumbasses. And anybody else who rides with you claiming that you're not Moors. All those people in your chat yesterday talking about they're not Moors and they got jokes to crack about us being Moors and all that stuff. All them people are sellouts just like you. Because we already know that you're not a chief. We already put it on the record. I am Grand Sheik Kujo Adwo El. And there's my sheepdom certificate from the Moorish Divine and National Movement. Because we can show and prove how we get our titles. I don't know what you people are talking about, but show me how you became a chief. Here's my stuff to show you how I became a Grand Sheik. I went through the adept chamber. Here's my sheepdom certificate right here. How you become a chief. And don't jump around and try not to answer the question either. You want to know how you become a chief and what tribe you chief of. What tribe you a chief of? I have a body of Moors that ride with me and recognize me as Grand Sheik. Ain't no European recognize me as some Grand Sheik. Moors recognize me as Grand Sheik. Moors recognize me as Grand Governor and Divine Minister, not some European. You just ask these Moors in this chat right there who's their Grand Sheik or whatever. What are you talking about? Moors do that. Who you're chief of? Chief of what? What chief? Like we tell you, chief came from the Europeans. Because a chief is really a sheik. That's why, again, you know, because you guys want to play stupid or whatever. Right? That's why all of them got their fezzes up. Well, they're pale. They're not real Aboriginal Indigenous. They know more about their culture than your dumbass saying that you're not Moors. At least they got sense enough to know, put their fez on. At least they got sense enough to know to go kill the buffalo and make a fur fez. Kill the bear or whatever, make a fur fez. At least do that. At least make a fur fez. At least wear your cape, your Moorish cape. At least wear your tunic. At least do that, even if they're faking. But we know who the real fakers are. Real fakers are these people out here talking about their Aboriginal and Indigenous. You're not Aboriginal and Indigenous anything. You're a faker. And that's all you people are about. Faking. Straight faking. Opposed to you wanting to bring us on your channel, BS, why don't you just send this link to all your Aboriginal whoever's, tell them come in here and learn something. How about do that? Playing around. Like we got the issue or whatever. Us? You know who we are? What are you exposing? There ain't nothing to expose. You're the ones on blast right now. You can't expose Moors. Why are you exposing Moors? That means you're exposing yourself, dumbass, because you're a Moor. You want to claim that you're Aboriginal Indigenous. You want to claim that your identity is some tribe. Stop faking. We already know what's up. That's why we're the ones that have the 2,000 videos. That none of you people ever refute anything. All you do is talk BS. What European we love better? What are you talking about? European, the Moors ruled Europe. What are you talking about?
Yep.
What the hell are you talking about?
Europe itself.
Europe is a name of a Moorish queen named Europa. What are you talking about? Europe as if that's something to do with pale people. What the hell are you talking about? Europe has something to do with pale people? Oh, because you see pale people today, you think that that's... No, you're mistaken. But we know you people don't study. We know that you're dumbasses. Go call your crew, tell them come over here and learn, because you guys are dumbasses. You shouldn't even have no page to teach anybody anything, because you're teaching nothing. All you're doing is causing confusion. That's all you're doing, causing confusion. That's all. Oh yeah, you're ordained by the Most High, Allah, Buddha, and Jesus Christ. All right. All right. Jesus Christ is not Most High. What the hell are you talking about? Jesus Christ is the Son. Ain't nobody named Jesus Christ. What are you talking about? You're ordained by Jesus Christ? You're ordained by Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ ordained you. How or Jesus Christ ordained you when ain't no Jesus Christ around here? How Buddha ordained you when Buddha is a frame of mind? How Allah ordained you? Like I said, I could show you that Allah ordained me, because we know Allah is arm, leg, arm, head. And there's Allah's signature right there that ordained me. Two Allahs ordained me. Two Allahs ordained me. There they are right there. And then there's the seals. There's the seals, circle 7, crescent and star. So you know that it's Moorish. There's the seals, so you know. You guys playing around. You must think that we're these fakers like you guys. We're not the fakers like you. We're not the fakers like you. Good try, but yeah. And what did Noble Drawley say? Noble Drawley said the sheep, the flock know the voice of their shepherd. So what you're thinking, let me just show you again, because you definitely have it twisted. Where's that stuff at? You definitely have it twisted. You're so lost that it's not even fair. It's not even fair how lost you are. Is it even here? Islam, more. Go ahead, yo. I hear you in there.
Islam, real quick. I mean, I know everybody's stuff information is free, but I wanted to read you know what, scratch that. But American society, real quick, they just need to give honors due. Because I'm looking up the word Moor was substituted for the word Indian in 1621. When I typed it in, the first thing that comes up is their website. And I'm like, hold on, man, this wasn't like this when we first found it. And it's on their website now, like they discovered it in June 26th. I'm just saying, you know, just give credit due. You know what I mean? When Moors put information out. But in the book, study of, okay, the name of it is The Study of Omaha Indian Music, right? It says, in 1621, quote, Indian was substituted for Moorish.
Oh, interesting.
Let me read that again. It says in 1621, the word, quote, Indian, end quote, was substituted for the word Moorish, with a single alteration with the original text was again transcribed in 1730. So in 1621, there was no such thing. Up until 1621, there was no such thing as an Indian. It was just Moor.
Until 1621, no such thing as an Indian.
Let me just read this one more line.
Yeah, go ahead, Moor.
The term Moorish, as here applied, can scarcely be regarded as a deceptive one, inasmuch as, quote, Montezuma, the king of Temistitan, Temestitan, and Mexico, is subsequently designated as a Moorish king in this same inventory of 1596. They refer, so in the inventory of 1596, this 1596, this is almost 30 years before the word was substituted. They were called, Montezuma was known as the Moorish king. So when Cortez and them came over here, they were referring to Montezuma as the Moorish king. Cortez himself never even heard of an Indian. He never even heard of it. They were known as Moors. Then they just started distorting the history when they started writing the books and stuff. Stuff started getting changed. Names started getting changed. All of a sudden, people started becoming Negro, colored, Black, and Indian.
Yep, all of a sudden.
But again, in 1621, the word Indian was substituted for Moorish. Like, what else is it? This is at a time before this is written. This shouldn't even be written. I can't believe that this was written. Like when we found it, it was like, wow, that's really there. In the same inventory, because they were talking about Montezuma's headdress, and what they found in that same inventory, the document of the headdress was for Montezuma, the Moorish king, in 1596. The slave trade didn't even, the so-called slave trade didn't even start yet. They're calling the guy over here. This is over here too. This is not over. Montezuma's over here. They're calling him the Moorish king. Nothing's higher than that for some Aboriginal auto-talkiness. Wasn't none of that was even in existence. All of those words are Middle English words. Those aren't even ancient words. It was just Moor. It was people on Earth who never even heard of Aboriginal, Indigenous. That's like, in order for that to happen, it had to be colonizers to come there. And now you're Aboriginal because they're labeling you that. Because you have to distinguish who's who. The European colonizers or these people. That Aboriginal, Indigenous is modern terms. That's not even ancient.
It's not even ancient. Modern terms. Modern.
There's no such thing as no Indian chief Aboriginal guy. They never referred to themselves as that. Never. They wouldn't, if I was here and somebody came here, I wouldn't introduce myself as the Aboriginal or whatever. It would just be known. I'm the one here first. You know you came here to see me or visit here. You're the visitor. It would just be known. I would just say who I was. I wouldn't have to say Aboriginal, Indigenous. That's fraud, man.
I know. And then I don't know if you're watching the chat, but my Moors asking them in the chat if they built something. They say, yeah, they built casinos. They built casinos. That's what they did. They took federal funding, just like the NOI, to build a casino instead of building housing for their people who live in shacks right now. But you're Aboriginal Indigenous and we're supposed to respect you. We don't respect you. How are you building a casino? That's what you're claiming? This nigga said casino. Casino. That's what they did. Yeah. Right? Exactly. You guys are the money changers tables that we flipped over since you honor Jesus so much. Since Jesus ordained you, how the hell Jesus make you bring a God that you sure that was Jesus? I don't think that was Jesus. I really don't think that was Jesus that ordained you, because Jesus was the guy who toppled all the casino people. What are you talking about?
Yep.
Jesus ordained you. Yeah, that was Satan that ordained you. You got ordained by Satan, and you're coming up here trying to convince Moors who study that we don't know that you guys are sellouts. We already know that you're sellouts. You build a casino for your people. Talking crazy.
Whatever you do for the people, build casinos.
Built casinos.
Conversation over.
Conversation over. Conversation over. Oh yeah. And then I heard somebody in there talking about F. Conway. You don't even worry about Conway, because at least Conway put his pops on, and now his pops is a member of Moorish Science Temple, proclaiming that he's a Moor and backing down all these people trying to insure him for some BS that he doesn't need no insurance for. Well, don't tell me nothing about F. Conway until you can show me that you put your pops on to this info, and then your pops is standing up on his nationality and birthrights. Talking crazy. You Moors really think that we're not the ones. You better go check the archives. You better go check the 2,000 videos to realize that we're not those Moors that you guys are used to. Those Temple Moors. Those Toronto Johnson Bay Moors.
Right.
We're not the Toronto Johnson Bay Moors. We're a different level of Moors. Right? We're a different level of Moors. We're not them Moors that y'all are used to. Stop it. Because you're playing around. And please don't play with us, because we don't play. We do not play at all. We're very serious with this. Very serious with this. Now let's go to some more Moors. We'll go to this Moor, who he was a Moor, built pyramids and all that stuff and called themselves Moors. He didn't call them ancient Egyptians or whatever. He said Moors. Why did he say Moors? Because that's the birthright. And he's Yamasee. So we have Noble Jualiu's Cherokee, we have Dr. York, who's Yamasee, and then the Yamasee said Nuwaubian Nation of Moors, and put out Moors newsletter, Nuwapian Moors newsletter, that you're going to go around today and see that it's called Tamarack Times to let you know that they sold out. Everybody's a sellout out here. Why they switch the stuff? They start calling stuff Tamarack Times. No, and don't talk about somebody's out of order or whatever. These doors swing open. There's no out of order sign over here. Good try. Like I said, I'm not these Moors. Because keep in mind, right? That's why we put the tassel on everything. So sometimes we can tell you guys FOH. You know, we're not going to do that with the fez on. We can tell you go suck yourself because we don't have the fez on today. We got the knitted hat with the tassel. So don't tell me anything about out of order, and don't be bringing up any divine constitution and bylaws you violating Act 5 and all that BS. FOH. FOH 500 times. Because I told you that we're not those ones. We're the new Moors with the eyes wide open, and our eyes been open. High beams, high beam eyes when we came into this. Where were you people at? Where were you, Chief Holiday, in 2008? How come you weren't debating me then? We've been had a YouTube page since 2008. Where you been all these years? How you just come up here yesterday, Johnny come lately, Chief, and trying to tell me something? Where you been? Where you been, Chief? Where you been? Matthew Jones. There's no such thing as no white supremacists. None of these people make you talk crazy. No such thing as white supremacists. Doesn't exist. People are playing you. People are playing you. Moors throughout the Northern Hemisphere. Return of the ancient ones. The Moors in America. When did the title Moor first start being used in America? And is it a legal term or just some concoction of some fanatics who just want to call themselves Moors to identify with the Moroccan Mohammed branch of Islam? What most people don't know is that the word Moor is in treaties made between the Continental Congress of these United States and the Moroccans as far back as 1786 AD. And that it was made clear that these Moroccans were the first to recognize the United States. And what must be noted is that these Moroccans were not what you see in Morocco today. That is Spanish and French Moroccans who are mulattoes. But it literally mentions in the Spanish Act of 1543 that mulattoes could not be taken as slaves to the Americas under the general license for enslaved Negroes. According to the book, First Black Africans and Native Americans, Jack Forbes published in 1988. These Moors that were brought over here to defend and protect the United States, as found in the book American Revolution, as seen by Moroccan diplomats under the Moroccan-American Relations translation of excerpts from a lecture delivered in Arabic by Ambassador Abdelhadi Tazi when the Moroccan fleet ruled the waves. In this lecture was based on Article 9, where it states, Article 9 of the Peace and Friendship Treaty between Morocco and America, between George Washington and the Sidi Abdullah Mohammed. And you can go do your own research on that. The persons who came here to these shores from Morocco in the 1700s were not what you see in Morocco today as Arab Berbers or other stocks of people who invaded Morocco from the north as Spaniards or Franks and have tied themselves into the vine of the original Moors of Morocco and have literally taken over the image. The error comes in the documents in America where the word Moor is used. The error comes with the people over here. Because when you go over there, they know what's going on. But because of the stupidity of the Negroes here, that's why on this side, there's so much corruption of language. There's so much corruption of history. Corruption of history to the point where these people reconstructed history, and you have Aboriginal and Indigenous people here right now claiming that the best thing they did here is build casinos.
Yep.
That's how warped these people's mindsets are because of this colonization that they're under. Please note for the record that Moor and Mohammedan is separated by a comma in the treaty, depicting two separate things because it almost always misunderstood when the word Moor is heard or spoken that it refers to Muslims, Mohammedan, or the Islamic religion, and that is not the truth. The title Moor is a nationality describing a specific stock of people's pigmentation, that is skin color. And the point that I am reaching here is that the word Moor is found in documents in America pertaining to the Moroccans who came here under the treaty of the 17th century made with George Washington. And if it is not an Arabic word, but rather a Latin word, morenos, meaning black/brown, then it is obvious that these Moroccans, as they came to the shores of America and were being called black or brown people, make it clear who and which races these treaties and documents are referring to that have this ongoing peace and friendship treaty, the Negroids. Once established that the Moroccans who came here were Moors, that is, not necessarily Muslims, but simply dark-skinned, woolly-haired Moors, and that mulattoes, as mentioned above, were not accepted, we literally come to the conclusion that the indigenous inhibitors or inheritors of Morocco before the Arab Berber invaders were these dark-skinned Moors, and that this people were and are the ones in America today who are being called Negroes and or Latinos after mixing with the Spaniards. Need more? Let's get some more. The word Moor, still retaining its original meaning in all of these different languages. And if you look up the word in various other languages, again, you will find that the meaning remaining the same. The term Moor was used in late medieval and early modern Europe. Moro meant Negro and corresponded to Castilian usage in which Moro applied to horses whose color was Negro. Moor in French and Moris in Hispanic Latin, Moro in Valencian, came from the Latin Moris and from a Greek word oscuro, meaning dark, for the dark color of the Mauritanos, Moros, the people of Northwest Africa. The original Moors of Morocco, even with the Arab invasion, retained their ancient Egyptian cultures found in their architecture, their mosaic work, their wood carvings, and the likes. Cordoba is a city of southern Spain on the Guadalquivir River, northeast of Seville, which was established by the indigenous Carthaginians who were Moors. El Cid was also known to inflict torturous acts on Moors. Spanish Inquisition on the Moors. The Hironite, We Are All Moors by Anur Majid. The Hieronymite friars referred to the inhabitants of Hispaniola as these Moors. In the initial years in New Spain, the term mosque was used to name the indigenous places of worship. Why are they using mosque to name the indigenous places of worship if the indigenous people here weren't Moors? Why? Why? This is yet another example of how Spaniards, in fashioning the New World and waging war on Native Americans, treated the Native Americans as embodiments of the Moor. No, black is a description. Moor is not a description. Brown is a description. Moor is not a description. This is why you have to learn to read. Because if you don't know how to read, you're going to say dumb stuff like black is a religion when it's an adjective. An adjective describes. Moor is a noun. Nouns don't describe. Real simple. It's the English language. 8 parts of speech. You speak English. All I've seen you type in this whole chat ever since we've been on here is English. So what do you mean? What do you mean it's a description? Well, how's Moor a description when it's a noun? And adjectives are what are used to describe. What are you talking about? But this is the incompetence of the people who call themselves Aboriginal Indigenous that aren't Moors. Because trust me, I don't hear you guys talking this BS when you have Asir the Duke of Tears on your channel who's a Moor. How come you weren't talking all this BS to Asir the Duke of Tears? Oh, but after he gets off your channel, then you're going to do a whole stuff talking BS about he's wrong and all that stuff. Why didn't you say that stuff to his ear when he was on your channel? Autochthonous one. He's been on your channel. He knows that he's a Moor. He says that he's a Moor. Oh, you're not going to talk that BS when he's on your channel. But when he goes off your channel, all of a sudden, you got something to say about who's Moors and who's not Moors and all that stuff. Aboriginal power. He's been on your channel. He told you that the Sea people, the Olmecs, are Moors. Last night, he told you that. Well, you're not gonna make no videos about him or whatever, right? You're gonna placate with him. Well, yeah, because he says Aboriginal, we're brothers in the unity of the whatever. You're not in unity because he said that he's Moor. You should automatically be saying that you're Moor too. What's the problem? Moors could say that we're Aboriginal and Indigenous. How come you Aboriginal and Indigenous can't say that you're Moors? Why can't you say that you're Moors? The only reason that you can't say that you're Moors is because you're probably a sellout. More than likely you're a sellout. Because we know for a fact that autochthonous one, who's you guys' boy, he says that he's Moor. Right? All these Aboriginals know what's up. 5-point star all around their fez. 5-point star all around their stuff. Oh, they're the pale ones. Why are you showing me the pale ones? Of course they're going to say that they're whatever. No. Who the pale people learn from? Not the dark-skinned people? The pale people just picked this up by themselves. Really? You're telling me the pale people just picked this up by themselves? Really? Right? Delaware's forgotten folk. The story of the Moors and the Nanticotes. Why don't you go debate C.A. Westlager if you want to debate something? Go debate, go right here. You want us to give you the address? You want us to give you the University of Pennsylvania Press? Go debate them that Aboriginals aren't Moors. What do you want? Huh? Why don't you go debate them? C.A. Westlager, esteemed writer and historian of the Delaware. Go debate. Go debate. Got Moors on the cover. Got Moors on the cover of their book. Right? How come you didn't go debate? How come you didn't go debate Cleveland Indians and all these people who's using your Aboriginal stuff? We're not debating them. How come it takes some Europeans to debate them? How come? Why you go after all these teams who's using your Aboriginal stuff as caricatures for their teams? You're not going to go after them, but you're going to come up in here talking BS about us. Why don't you go talk to these people? We're not even dissing. We're just saying that you're Moors. You're mad at us, but you're not mad at the people making millions, wearing your chief headdresses and all that stuff. You're not going to go deal with those people wearing your chief headdresses, but you're going to come talk crazy to Moors because we're telling you that we're Moors. You don't make any sense. 0 cents. Right? Put the horns on the fez and everything. Put the horns on the fez. But you're debating that you're not Moors. How they got the horns on the fez and you're debating? But we're not tripping. We walk very fine. We don't trip. How come these Aboriginals got their fez on? Where's your fez? What horns you got? You don't even show yourself. You hide behind screen share. Stop lying. Show yourself next time. Go on your stuff and show yourself. Bet you won't show yourself. Talking about people are cowards. You're the coward because you're not going to show yourself talking all that BS that you're talking. You never show yourself. All of you, cowards. Aboriginals got their no brim headwear, which is called a fez. You ain't been on YouTube for years, nothing. You just came yesterday. What's supreme? What language is supreme? Tell me that. How are you a supreme chief? You're a supreme chief? Huh? Aboriginal fezzes. Aboriginal fezzes. What do you mean you're not Moors? How come Aboriginals have hand-woven fezzes and you're talking crazy that you're not Moors? That's the pale people's. How do pale people learn that? You think pale people learn hand weaving by themselves? They learn how to weave this by themselves? No. Dark-skinned Aboriginal indigenous people taught the pale ones. Stop the BS. They got the leather tassel on it and everything. And you're talking crazy that you're not Moors. You're not Moors, but all these Aboriginals, they're repping harder than you people would ever rep, because you're some fakers. Fakers. Why are you faking? How come Aboriginal Indigenous got their fez up? Where's your fez? It doesn't look like they're Shriners to me. Looks like they're Aboriginal and Indigenous. It really looks like they're Aboriginal and Indigenous. Where y'all at though? Where's your stuff? Nothing, huh? Nothing? Nothing? They even take cloth and wrap it around their head and make a fez. They wrap cloth around and make a fez. You know, this is not no damn turban. If it fits on your head like this, that's a fez. In denial, ass dirty Moors. Dirty. Dirty. Even got the cone fez with the tassel. Now the cone fez with the tassel. You're debating us about we're not Moors, we're Aboriginal and Indigenous. Well, here's Aboriginal and Indigenous here with their fez on. What you mean? How do you figure that you're not Moors? You're not Moors, but the people who came after you, Indigenous people, they stayed true to the culture and still got fezzes. And you're over here talking crazy. Right? Even the elders, fezzes. Tell me that they're not Moorish? If you tell me that they're not Moorish, you're a dumbass. You'd probably tie an anchor on you and throw you off something to make you a Moor. How about we Moor you like that? Telling you that these Aboriginal and Indigenous are dirty Moors. Because the Aboriginal and Indigenous people who are later, they got the tunics, they got the fezzes with the tassel. Tassel is a feather and all that. And they have you stupid Indigenous people following them being dirty, not being your ancient foremothers and forefathers. You talk about expose some Moors. What are you exposing? The hell are you exposing? We already know that we're Moors already. We're not in denial. I don't care what you say. It's like you say, you can come tell me Noble Drawley's a faggot. You're still Moors. The hell are you talking about? He's not Moors. Not Moors? They're posing, they're taking all these pictures with fezzes on that they made by hand, and you're telling me that Aboriginal and Indigenous people are not Moors? You have your own Aboriginal and Indigenous people telling you that you're Moors? Peace to Brother Aboriginal Power and Brother Autochthonous One, telling you that they're Moors, trying to wake you up to the fact that Aboriginal and Indigenous people are Moors, but you don't want to hear them. You're telling me some nonsense about you're not Moors. You're everything but Moors. How the hell are you everything but Moors? They even put the fez on their little carpet or whatever the hell that they make, a little apron or whatever. They even put the Moor on that. How's feathers everywhere? And you're telling me Aboriginal and Indigenous aren't Moors. I'm gonna ride with these pale ones before you. And we're supposed to be in some unity. Can't even ride with you people because you're dirty. The people on the reserve who've been sold out, they got your culture up, and you're over here talking about feathers up. What feathers up? What feathers are you talking about? What feathers you guys got? Pigeon feathers around where you're at. You don't got no eagle feathers and hawk feathers or whatever. All you is pigeons. Pigeon feathers don't make you Aboriginal and Indigenous. Pigeon feather ass niggas. Dirty Moors. Tell me about feathers up.
Pigeon feathers. I almost drowned. I could not believe you said that.
It's not to brother Sheldon L. It's not to brother Sheldon L who dropped this one. Right? The Welcome Totem near British Columbia territory. And the Welcome Totem has the red fez on. They weren't even playing with this totem. They got the red fez on this totem, welcoming everybody at the seashore. Anybody who's coming in here, welcome with the red fez on. But you're not Aboriginal and Indigenous? Totem been there welcoming people, wearing his tunic, got his Moorish cape on and everything. Look at those lips. Tell me that's not a Moor? Look at those lips. How you telling me that's not a Moor? Look at those lips. Those lips are definitely Moorish. That nose is definitely Moorish. Aboriginal and Indigenous what? Moors are new. How's Moor new? How's Moor new when Moor goes back to ancient Egypt? What are you talking about? Ancient Egypt is not new. In front of Vancouver School Board, they took your Aboriginal country because you don't want to be it. Vancouver School Board took it because you don't want to be it. Vancouver School Board took your fez because you want to be a dirty Moor and be Aboriginal and Indigenous, took your fez, put it on a totem, and represent their school board with your fez, and you're playing around that you're not Moors. Moors are new. Moors are new. I guarantee you, 20 years ago, you were Negro, black, colored, or something else. And what did you do? I'm Aboriginal and Indigenous. You're still Negro, black, and colored, calling yourself that. You ain't changed. You're still adjective. Islam Moor.
Islam.
If you got anything to throw in.
I just want to add on the Indian stuff too, because remember, I'm so-called Cherokee. So when I did the research, you can go on the website, the Cherokee Dolls Rolls in Tuska, Oklahoma. That's where all my consanguinity is from. So like when I did the research, I knew I had to go there. I already knew I had to go there because my nana told me. She told me all my life, you Indian, me and my sister, you Indian. We even have that so-called Indian tribal number card. So we did the research. You put the paperwork up there before, Grant Sheet, showing with my grandfather up there,
yep.
Charles Van, my dad up there, Leonard Van, and I recently showed my dad it, and me and him go on there so he could see it. He was going crazy because he was up there. Oh yeah, they got your uncle up there, Yeah, up there because he knew all the names. And I was like, oh, wow. So he knew everybody on there. But at the same time, I know that none of that Indian stuff is real. Like, I know we're Moors. I know none of that Cherokee Indian census roll stuff is real. The dolls roll. I know that all that. Once you start looking up those words, it puts you as property, Roman count and stuff like that. They're putting you back in the category and classification. As soon as they put you on those census rolls, it's not for you to find out that you're Aboriginal Indigenous. It's for you to find out that you're property all over again. And that's how they was being able to take our land by us. But anyway, yeah, I can by us, and that's what another thing is going on too. When you start doing a lot of research, you start seeing that a lot of so-called people who calling themselves Native American or First Nation people, they're giving them stuff. They're letting them be able to get away with things. But history is just going to repeat itself. They're going to give them that whatever they want, and then they're just going to come back and take it again because you really weren't in honor. You're still playing the classification, calling yourself what is Aboriginal unity? What's that? Like that's fraudulent. Like when they start making up all of these different types of names, I'm glad that you put the picture up with the Brother Sheldon gave you the information with the Moor with his fez on, because I forgot all about that. And that is the picture with them coming into the shores, and you can see the Moor. It's like that's another. You can't deny that we're in Morocco. This Morocco, you can walk around and you can see all. Okay, there's not a teepee in sight still standing. You can't walk around and be like, oh, they got teepees everywhere. Like none of that. No, but they still got Moorish castles are still standing all over. You can walk around your neighborhood, go see old churches, old schools, old mental institutions. All of those places are all Moorish castles. You can type in Moorish architecture in your neighborhood. It'll pop up.
Stop the BS, Lotus Television, because your boy, your chief, just came on here and said the best thing that you guys did was build casinos. So stop telling me about you guys got castles, because your chief, since he's a chief, he knows better than your dumbass. Guaranteed. And I'm going to ride with your chief before I ride with you about you built some castles. What castles you built over here? You indigenous people never claimed one castle around here. What castle you built? Only thing you built is casinos, according to your chief. That's what you guys are on, building casinos. So go talk to your chief and get you guys facts straight before you start coming on here talking crazy and making yourself sound like a fool after he's been on here for an hour and 40 minutes telling us that you guys civilization. No, you didn't say you built civilization. Stop the BS. You can scroll back up in the chat, and everybody in the chat was there when you said the best thing you guys did was build casinos. Stop lying. You're a casino builder. And you're justifying it too. You're justifying casinos as something legitimate that Aboriginal indigenous people did in the Americas. So stop lying. This is a lot more. Sorry to cut you.
No, because that was key. Because if he's trying to change and act like he didn't say that, he definitely put that in the chat. That one of their things that they did, the thing that they did for their people was build casinos. You can't go back on that. And then once you say that you're part of the people who built the casino, so okay, you tying yourself to the people with the Bering Strait, because that's their history. That's Bering Strait history. Casino builders, casino building Indians tie themselves back to Bering Strait. When they try to play the game like they the Olmecs, the Aboriginal people, indigenous people, like they are the Olmecs, no, you're not. You're Bering Strait people. Those would be the real foreigners anyway.
And remember, he has a YouTube, so he knows that after a certain time you can't go past a certain part. We're gonna have to wait until the end. So don't tell me any BS about scroll up and show me where I said that. You already know I can't scroll up right now. Stop the BS. You already know. You already know.
He said, show me where. I never see how people get.
Show you where you said casinos. We can't scroll up that far right now. You know that we can't do that. But you're going to talk about scroll up right now to show you that. F out of here. Right.
For views, Ranshi? All of this for views?
All this for views. All this for views.
Because they know they Moors. Like we said the other day.
Who's traitors? Yeah, Moors are traitors. Yeah, dirty Moors. Of course Moors are traitors. Just like all you native Indians who did dummy treaties with these Europeans are traitors. So don't make it sound like Moors are traitors only.
We know Moors are traitors.
We know Moors are traitors. We're not in denial that Moors are traitors. You're saying that like we're supposed to not accept that Moors are traitors. We already know Moors are traitors. What are you talking about?
That's how they got Grenada. It wasn't a war. He just gave it to him. He sold it to him. His mom spit on him after. He sold out. That was a Moor. He just gave the keys to Isabel and Ferdinand. Just gave it to him. Came home, mom spit on him for selling out. That's a dirty Moor. And these are the same people.
Yep, same people.
Same people.
Same people. And you're talking. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
The ancestors are going to return. It wasn't just the good ancestors that were going to return. Everybody's coming back. The dirty ones, the good ones, everybody's coming back. Everybody was coming back, not just the good ones. Everybody's coming back. And these are the dirty ones that's coming back.
Where I'm from. You're talking where I'm from like I'm not from the Americas or something. What the hell are you talking about? My mom and my dad are from Alubera and Khalid, which is Trinidad and Tobago. That's where my parents are from. What's the problem? You're gonna try to say that I'm not from America? And I was born in Toronto, which is part of Canaanland, which is part of North America. You're gonna say I'm not from the Americas? You're gonna say I'm not Aboriginal and Indigenous? I'm not foreigner. I'm from here. What are you talking about? What does it matter where I'm from if I'm from here? Okay, so now that you know where I'm from, now what? Now what, Supreme Chief guy? Now you know that I'm from here. So now what? What was your point of wanting to know? Now that you know, now what? Tell me something. Waiting on you. Tell me something. What do you mean, can you go to Toronto and do anything? Anybody could go anywhere that they want. You got passport. You can go wherever you want. What do you mean? Let me Lotus get somebody. Lotus better be a female. Any man calling themselves Lotus, I'm questioning your sexuality. You call me about your Lotus. Any man telling me that they're Lotus, I'm questioning you. You better be a female Lotus. Only Lotus I know is a goddamn Kama Sutra sex pose telling me about Lotus. And your name's Lotus. Feathers up. Aboriginal and Indigenous people. Your people. Oh, these aren't your people. These are the pale people. Oh, well, the people who your ancestors taught, the pale people, took something from your ancestors that were Aboriginal and Indigenous. Oh yeah, those people were Moors. That's why. And we know all your Aboriginal Indigenous people are gonna come watch this, and then they're gonna see this, and then they're gonna start thinking. Yeah, start thinking. Lotus comes from your coat of arms. All right, whatever. Oh, brother LOELB, you put it on the record, Mark. You know, you already know how we do. You already know how we do. What you need? I got the stuff. You want me to bring you in right now? Because we bring Moors in and beat you people up all night. All night. All night. We just go through the chat. And we'll bring them on all night to tear you people up. They're talking nuts. Are you out of your mind? No, brother Sheldon, I don't have that one. I didn't even pull that reference. What do you mean you can't tell me nothing about Trinidad? Why would you tell me anything about Trinidad? What are you talking about? Trinidad is, you know, Trinidad. I told you that I'm from Alubeira and Calib. That's Aboriginal and Indigenous. What you mean you can't say anything about the politics there? You're Aboriginal and Indigenous. The question is, why don't you know about the politics there? That's the question. The Americans, the islands, all the islands are part of the Americas. Those people there are Aboriginal and Indigenous. What are you talking about? All those islands. All of them. Exactly. That's Taino Arawak. That's why the major beer in Trinidad is called Carib, because Carib is Aboriginal and Indigenous. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Y'all saying anything. You guys are just two fish in a pool of sharks right now. And you're talking crazy. Like you didn't get ate up all night already. Please. And don't let me go in the email and see that Moors sent stuff for me to read. Because you're about to get eaten some more.
Who was the first Moor? Somebody asked that question.
Yeah, who was the first Moors? Aboriginal and Indigenous were the first Moors. Foolish. Uh-oh. Looks like Brother Navi sent something. Let's see. Let's see. Let's school y'all quick fast. The Oxford Universal Dictionary on Historical Principles. Casino, 1789. A summer house in Italy. A public This is for you. This is for you. Chief, I told you don't mess with these Moors in the chat, but you're playing around. Casino. Since you don't like to read, let me read this for you. Since the best thing that you guys did was build casinos for your people. Casino, a summer house in Italy. A public room used for social meetings, especially public music or dancing saloon. That's what you guys are about.
Oh my goodness.
Casino. Also, casino. Kassino. 1792. A game at cards in which the 10 of diamonds counts 2 points and the 2 of spades 1. 11 points constituting the game. Casino. And that's what they're about. Games. People aren't serious. Telling you these people aren't serious. And then don't forget you guys, don't forget, right? Supreme chief guy is gonna pretend like he doesn't have my email or whatever and he can't email. When I've been emailed him. Been emailed him. Been. Then we get on the platform. Yeah, brother, no problem, brother. Still waiting for a damn email to get on their stuff. And then when they're doing their more bashing campaign, then they want to bring me on about, you're a coward, push the link. I'm pushing the link for you guys to do train on me. I'm not you guys whore. What do you think this is? You guys whore? I'm not you guys whore. Good try, though. Good try. You guys trying to run train on me, have me and you guys little Moorish beatdown BS. Trying to make it like, oh yeah, can't forget this one. Even the Mongolian indigenous got their fez on. Where are you guys fez at? Even the indigenous from Mongolia said fez is up. With your arrows. Has your arrows too. And y'all playing. Y'all playing games. Stay playing games. Tassel with the pom-pom. Feather pom-pom. Telling you that Aboriginal indigenous people are not Moors. But all we showing you all night is fezzes on Aboriginal indigenous people. And we know that they're not Shriners, and we know that they didn't just come from KFC. So stop the BS. Stop the BS. People going on their channel talking about they give Corey Holcomb more honors than Tariq Nasheed. Shut the hell up. You guys are sellouts. All you guys. Bro, stop lying. You said casino is what you guys built. Why are you lying now? Now you didn't say that? Stop it. Stop it. There's another totem. Fez is up. Right totem got a fez and you don't. And you're a chief. Totem's more chief than you. Totem's more high priest than you are. Totem is more high priest than you. You guys gonna have Asir the Duke of Tears, who's a Moor on your channel. You're not gonna say Jack when he's on there. Say nothing. You guys are like good, quiet mice when Asir's on your channel. Right? Tunics are Moorish. Especially when you got the 2 slits on the side, it's definitely Moorish. Tunics are Moorish, then the hell's you guys' problem? Tunics are Moorish. Don't ever forget. You better say no homo after you're talking that stuff about put people over your knee and all that stuff. You better say no homo after that, because.
Did they ever answer the question about nationality?
Oh no, of course. Of course they never answer what's their nationality, because they don't have one. What are they gonna say? They don't got a nationality. They don't even know what nationality is. Of course they don't have a nationality. Of course. Latin America's Moorish and Arab influence. Moorish Lima. Lima, whose architecture has the Moorish influence from what I've seen in Latin America, was founded in 1535. The huge archways seems like they should be somewhere in an Arab desert. So Lima has Moorish arches. Moro in Peruvian slang. When I first arrived in Peru in 2008, I was in the honeymoon phase where you befriend every single taxi driver. I met a friendly Indian who was definitely a native or Aymara from Puno or some tiny pueblo, but I wouldn't have known that then. We were talking about whatever, and he told me that the indigenous community has a term for some upper class Peruvians, Moros. The Arab-Brazilian Chamber of Commerce, which represents the world's largest Arab diaspora, was established over 60 years ago. Kibe and Sfia are to Brazil as tacos are to the United States or curry to England. The current governor of Sao Paulo is of Arab descent. That's some in denial ass Moors. In denial ass Moors. What happened? Oh yeah, your serpents have wings. I'd love to see that shit. Serpent with wings. Are you gonna tell me that the serpent was talking like the Bible too? Talking serpent with wings flying around? The hell you people talking about? Serpents had wings. The plume serpents. Okay, you know a plume is feathers, right? Plume is not wings. Those wings, the plume serpent, those weren't wings, those were feathers. And the serpents represents the Nagas, or the ones that were high priests. And all the high priests wear fezzes. But you Moors are tripping. You Moors are tripping. Oh yeah, let's go to this one. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Islam to the Moors that study.
Hey you, stop falling down the YouTube rabbit hole. Go to Wix.com and get your professional website. I know
this bridge, we were received by that lord, Montezuma, with about 200 chiefs, all barefooted and dressed in a kind of livery, very rich, according to their customs, and some more so than others. They approached in two processions near the walls of the street, which is very broad and straight and beautiful, and very uniform from one end to the other, being about 2/3 of a league long, and having on both sides very large houses, both dwelling places and mosques. Montezuma came, and having on both sides very large houses, both dwelling places and mosques.
What Cortez just say?
Being about 2/3 of a league long, and having on both sides very large houses, both dwelling places and mosques. Montezuma came in the middle of the street with two lords, one on the right side and the other one on the left, one of whom was the same great lord who, as I said, came in that later to speak with me, and the other was the brother of Montezuma, lord of that city Iztapalapan, whence I had come that day. All were dressed in the same manner, except that Montezuma was shod, and the other lords were barefooted. Each supported him below his arms, and as we approached each other, I descended from my horse. I was about to embrace him, but the two lords in attendance prevented me with their hands that I might not touch him, and he also made the ceremony of kissing the ground. This done, he ordered his brother, who came with him, to remain with me and take me by the arm.
So if Cortez saw that there were mosques here, Cortez said that there were mosques here, then what's the issue? What's the issue? Because we really want to know how everybody else around you people know about the Moorish connection over here, and you guys are playing games. How is it that you're playing games? How? The Serpent Muru. The Serpent Muru. Again, this is the Aboriginal and Indigenous Bay, Alimel Bay. The serpent, colonists of South America. One of the earliest immortal serpents from Mu to colonize America was Aramu Muru. Amaru, M-U-R-U, the Serpent Muru. According to legend, moments before Mu's final demise, the Serpent Muru, along with his consorts, Arama Mara, boarded an airship and headed to South America with a cargo of sacred records and artifacts, including a huge golden sun disk. The mountains of South America, the Andes, resonated to the same yin vibration as their beloved Mu, and were thus considered suitable for the preservation of Lemurian culture. They were also home to the city of Petiti, one of the planetary headquarters of the Solar Brotherhood, an organization Aramu Muru had been a high-ranking member of on Mu. The Moors are the original lineage of the planet Earth. Moor can also mean Black Lord or Black God. The hieroglyphic would read MR, depicting an owl and a lion. The word Moor is linked to the Arabic word Amir, which means prince, leader, or commander, such as Amir al-Bahar, meaning commander of the sea. The Western naval rank admiral comes from the Arabic navy title Amir al-Bahar, which has been used for naval commanders and occasionally the ministers of marine or maritime. This is also where the English word admiral comes from, which is the term admiralty law. Admiralty law is the supreme law of the planet and is definitely one of the oldest systems of laws. The term Rika derived from the Middle English word rik, R-I-C, to mean power realm. Power was determined by bloodline and by wealth. Thus the term rich or Reich. In Central America, the word Americ signifies great mountain, invoking Meru, the sacred mountain in the Vedic tradition, said to be the center of the 7 continents. Moreover, according to so-called Indian Aboriginal native traditions of Central America, Mexico, on into North America in the Hopi, Navajo, Apache, etc., they claim descent from these said first inhabitants or occupants, the Moors of that territory. The West has been kept secret from the Europeans by the original indigenous people for a long period of time. The ancient lineage of Moors, who were inhabiting North and South America, made Europe rich with slaves from America and gold and other raw materials during the 1800s. The discovery of secret trade routes led to the economic theft of some of the power of Africa's trade and the maneuvering of the European to the central stage of power through control over the most important people and trade in the world, the ancient Moors. The following information is for a little more clarity on how the word Moor metaphysically ties into the elements. You have either read it in the book or some others that state the Moors were the original inhabitants of West Africa. These Africans were also referred to as Moor, Moro, and Morenos in Spain to mean blackamoor. The word Moor extends from the word El Muria, Mu misnomer Lemuria, and the word Moor is derives. Amaru is a derivative of Moor. Also, the word Moor is a short form of an Algonquin word, Sagamore. Islam to the Sagamore. Moor is a short form word of an Algonquin word, Sagamore, which means divine kings. I don't know why y'all fighting so hard to not be Moors. Fighting. Like the way you are fighting not to be Moors, it's absolutely insane. Insane. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. We are all Moors. You already know.
Yep.
We are all Moors. And what's really interesting? What's really interesting is how these so-called Aboriginal and Indigenous people really stayed here for 2 hours. They're so against Moors. They stayed here for
I thought
the
whole time.
They stayed here for 2 hours trying to convince some Moors that we're not Moors.
How long you stay in the chat until they block you, Green Sheep?
Bro, they blocked me after about 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
They blocked me, put me in timeout. And then after they put me in timeout, telling me about you should push the link so you could come in the chat. Oh, Islam to PNF Truth News Network. I see you, Moor. Give thanks for all your videos exposing all these frauds out here talking crazy. Islam to you, Moor. Islam to all the Moors in the chat. We know. Yeah, you block. Stop this. Stop this. But you don't block people. Because you have to have picked your moderators. And if your moderators block people and you're telling people, don't block them, and the moderators are blocking them, they should lose their moderating privileges. But no, you don't do that. You let those people stay moderators. Yeah, reverse psychology doesn't work over here. Good try, though. Good try. Good try. And don't think you're gonna pull some BS, have us going back and forth with your dumb ass for 5 hours or some BS. We're out of here pretty soon. Don't even get excited. Don't even get excited. We're just entertaining for right now. Just because. Make sure that you get the good beat down. Make sure that you get the good beat down. Y'all mute. That's it. We're done? Good. We're about to be done. There's a lot more. You got, oh, let me just check the email, see if any of these more sent anything else to slap these people. They love to talk crazy on our stuff.
Slime more.
Yeah, more.
No, I thought I was just thought you wanted me to give it the closeout, like to say Islam to more.
Oh, yeah, we can do our closeout. Oh, don't forget. Hold on, let me get this info. Since these Moors, since these Aboriginal, Indigenous, whoever's, they got so much stuff going on. Let's just get some info out there, quick, fast. This Saturday, this is how we do out here. I don't know what you Moors are up to, you dirty Moors that claim you're Indigenous. I don't know what y'all are up to, but this is what we're up to. This Saturday, we're doing our every year autumn equinox walk, where we take the children out and stuff like that, bring the Moorish children, and we take them into nature and let them breathe some fresh air for a little bit. We play babysitter, give the parents a little break. November 9th, 2019, We're going to be meeting at the Beltline east of Merton Street and Young Street at 10:30 a.m. this November the 9th, 2019. 10:30 a.m. meetup at the Beltline east of Merton Street and Young Street. And we're going to be going to our walk on the Beltline, and we're going to be ending at Moor Park. Just in case you think Moors weren't in Canaanland or something like that. We're going to be finishing at Moor Park. So keep that in mind, right? Young and Merton Street, east of Merton. As well, I just got the updated flyer. The 10th annual Noble Drew Ali Day celebration, January 4th, 2020, 12 to 5 p.m., 29 St. Denis Drive Gym. We have a lecture by Seton Rabe, Who Are the Real Immigrants? Since people like talk crazy that Moors are immigrants or whatever, let you know who the real immigrants are. And as well, Brother David Levi Bay, Minerals Connection Between Man and Plants. It's going down January 4th, the 10th year that we've been out here doing what we got to do to keep the Prophet's name, to keep the Prophet's mission, and to keep the empire alive in the North Gate. 29 St. Denis Drive, 20 notes donation. Make sure you bring some finance so you can get some food. Make sure you bring some finance so you can support the vendors. 12 to 5 p.m. We're calling in some real professionals for the job. Brother Seton Rabe and Brother David Levi Bay. Contact info 416-301-7216. 416-301-7216. If you want any info, contact, reach out, and we'll go from there. Peace and love to all the Moors. Oh yeah, it's your time now, Brother Yusuf.
My fault, Grand Sheik. Islam. Islam, good things for your platform too, Grand Sheik. Islam to the Moors in the chat. Islam, good things for the Prophet too, man. You know that.
Honors to the Prophet.
Honors to the Prophet.
Supreme honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali.
Islam.
We give thanks. We give thanks for that more. For bringing us our salvation, which is our nationality and our birthrights. And we'll just close out. We'll just close out with one on them. Islam Moors.
Islam Moors.
Conscious coons play tough in email wars, back and forth like waves crashing on seashores, questioning my MC skills like magistrates when KKK men treat you like the savages. Why? Cause they uphold the Constitution. Dred Scott will tell you ex-slaves lack a constitution. In war, for some there's collateral damage. Moors are the shrine of the shrine of maggots. Take heed, matter of fact, take this book that I know you won't read or take a look. Won't even turn one page in it, that's why I'm finished. Teaching y'all the game, y'all just love the scrimmage. Run to YouTube to quote minions' opinions. That stroke your chakras, got you thinking that's wisdom. Knowledge of self means get knowledge of self. You can tap the cell memory on the DNA shelf. Can teach you how to be overt or stealth. Black Peter is sent a slave, that's where they get the L's. For real, told you I'm serious, I'm not joking. You might see the locks, but don't think that I'm smoking. Not cause hybrids claim Europe means that I'm roping and dunking them in fire and brimstone with lava molten. I quicker toss a rapper in the flaming pit and toss a sellout and a trader in the same pit. Rap and BS singers get tossed in too. So with all the Indians that aren't native Hindu, I rep Hannibal, not the cracker like Manson. The first black prayers is a Moor, go ask him. All these so-called players up in the rap game got brothers on the corner still with cocaine. All these so-called players up in the rap game got youth man trying to beat them, losing his brain. All these so-called players up in the rap game got sisters warring and daughters doing the same. All these so-called players up in the rap game. All these so-called players up in the rap game. You can talk the talk, but I won't trip. Since Iron Sheik, I'm asking to see a slave ship. Show me a slave ship bolt or a slave ship sail, a slave ship plank or a slave ship nail. I can show you. They would have drowned in piss from 4 months of urination in the big bottom ships. Sleeping on my hair, my neck is crooked for weeks, but chained for months. Slave jump up and hit the fields. All the black Indians got turned to Negro slaves, black and colored with Euro names on their graves. During Columbus expeditions, Moors got shipped to Europe and returned to be burned and whipped, branded, under and overhanded. Andrew Jackson tried to kill us when the Seminoles banded. Haitian Moors used Aruba, formed an alliance, and gained serpentine fire through American science. All these so-called players up in the rap game got brothers on the corner still with cocaine. All these so-called players up in the rap game got youth man trying to beat them, losing his brain. All these so-called players up in the rap game got sisters warring and daughters doing the same. All these so-called players up in the rap game. All these so-called players up. Yeah. Alright, Chef, what up? CMP, what up? Masons think they add it, but they tack down tassels. Watch me send you rope to Albion and a lasso. Caucasoid hybrid, sun burns the islands to the human fam. We created a virus, some help to build, but most destroy. A future through melanin girls and melanin boys. Fast food, television, miseducation. Missed the history, stole the rights from our nation. National appellation, not in all capitals. Tribes of nobles and noblesse with woven crest. Peasants and sashes, shawls and vests. On Ashkenazi Jews, I put an alpha hex, omega the rest. Without a bloody mess, left dead in some Nikes like David Koresh. Burn out your temple with myrrh and frankincense. To work a ritual, it's all about intent and invent. Melanin, the magic dust, trust me. I shade to all the Puna while all the Orishas love me, trust me. Black candles, we got red ones too. When lit with everything. This is deja vu with no Denzel, cause Washington won the Grammy. He doesn't even know Washington is his granny. Could've sniped Wesley, but went for tax evasion. Moors and cards facing these judge masons. Give back your rituals and your Babylon ways. Give back your holy books, call me rebellious slave. Give back your story, there's more truth in mine. Give back your crucifix, hanging tributes and swine. Give back your rituals and your Babylon ways. Give back your holy books, call me rebellious slave. Give back your story, there's more truth in mind. Give back your crucifix, hanging tributes and swine. Coming to you from the blackness and peyote teepees. Not the head rush from ice or sucking breezes. You could choose to research, don't believe me. Tree of life songs cause inner visions and wonders like Stevie. Walk through the world under. Your mind feels like tundra soil. Hit you like Shango when my blood's on boil. Come as Allah or Batala. With one eye for sight, I can see from afar. Mermaids and mermen cry for tadpoles and jars. Trying to get the serious, they call it mission to Mars. To get you not looking, distract attention. Not to mention, but they have your brains in a lasso and your pineal gland tattooed with designs calcified. My height is amplified to levels so deep, my flow is amphibious style, leaving clansmen bloody in a hideous pile. Not like King Leonidas and Spartan saying 300 to call a legion of raw. You must be fronting like European pharaohs before the AD dynasty. Coming and killing me and saying they're nasty. One golden flyer was so you can't catch me. Had to jack your beat, cause the shit's catchy. Sometimes I fake cruise my face, screw like little Scrappy. And at the piggies with the scanners trying to speed trap me. Cause I'm repping blue bloods wanna cap me. I told you, boys in blue thinking I'm a Crip soldier. Give back your rituals and your Babylon ways. Give back your holy books, call me rebellious slave. Give back your story, there's no truth in mine. Give back your crucifix, hanging tributes and swine. Give back your rituals and your Babylon ways. Give back your holy books, call me rebellious slave. Give back his story, there's no truth in mine. Give back your crucifix, hanging tributes and swine. On the real. Fake Moors know the deal. Yo. Let them know. Just Islam. Let them know. Let them know. Moorish MC order, I'm a round table sheets. 7 days in a circle and 52 weeks. Dirty Moors copycat and bite the prophet's speech. I'm El without taking a Hajj like Malik. In a group of solo like Raphael Sadiq. Walking over rappers like stepping over a creek. Exposing you dappers, dressing like Greeks. Showing off cheeks, found wearing real freaks. Suck like a leech. I'm the nerd you kick sand on at the beach. Verbally your face I stand on. I'm back to teach. Learn a lesson as the piano soothes your mood. Lyrical weed, beat brain food, you turn God. Applying what I speak, the truth, they burn and lie through their teeth. Denationalized, jack for all your supplies and knowledge from the high priest on the mental highs. Bringing you light, giving you sight, close your eyes to pray. Get shackled at night, now they're giving you trite. Tales of ox, feed of pigs and soup. You've been bamboozled, tricked, had and duped. Won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops. Killing others around the world just to stay out the news. Won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops. Killing others around the world just to stay out the news. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. What up, brother Hanif? Use the mic to let them know. This is like Jurassic. They got your birthright. Knowledge is light. They calling you black and you're calling them white. Your name's Mikael and they calling you Mike. Earth shadow is the darkness, they calling it night. Sodom and Gomorrites are called gays and dykes. False education appears real, they calling it fright. Chic on this beat, you're calling it tight. Effects from the roach blunt, calling it heights. With a razor blade on my line, I'm cutting your kites. Rapping blood clot dummies, worry about stuffing the nights. Feminized in tight shirt, showing muscles and ice. Deals, got 'em acting like the 3 blind mice. Rhyming for nursery, laying play for Andrew Dice. I'm pro, you're Joe, the beat is spike. Can't take my flow, you hope I ease it right. I keep it coming like food and ackee, peas and rice. No coleslaw, tonic roots, please, no Sprite. 5 cents for a bag, yo, I don't need it, alright. 65, 35, fam, no need to fight. Studio time, paid with knowledge, time to leave the mic. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. The truth about nationality and birthright. Let them know.
Agenda to the T dot massive. Ready for the Gideon Babylon with my shit. We give them what they want, so them won't come stash it. We're ready for tech back with things and lash it. Unified is the camp nationality. Your stamp when we dealing with the land. We talk attaching this man. So who the white man? Who the black man? When the law was written by the brown hand. Inspiration from a universal realm. So to distort the realness and take the film. Keeping world under lock and key. Yo, cameras everywhere watching me. Check it. Claim of right to be who I am. Public notice from seas to the land. Who's ready to stand? I am in propria persona. To hell with the fiat and the fake money launderers. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake to injustices. Under contract, mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall back. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake to injustices. Under contract, mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall back.
Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. The truth. Chris V. Still get it from the intellect reservoir. Cosmic surfing, these two sons of God didn't come from virgins. Ether makes up these gods. We rode light angles to the earth plane. Again, trapped in skin, but a different name. Monads, been here since Ruth and Moabs. Thought you killed me when Drew and Marcus got toe tag. That's why I'm here with the Grand Chairman of Fear. Truth make you think critical like Sabir. Doing the God things, I make ancients appear. And all I'm hearing is knocking while I'm watching the seer. Ancient rituals and sound healing notes through Pro Tools. Eye-to-eye transfers knowledge, you need no schools. Waking up the masses, music is classes stage. Most fail cause they look like the flying shades. Following demons possess Kanye's and little waves. Expecting to hit me with a cross and a Greek name. In the melanin cause me DMV, the link up with no cheese. Orishas in me, I'm not what you don't see. I'm not one of those armchair revolutionaries. Allah's in me. Sick and tired of being sick and tired, but that's just where we get our strength, man. The Christ is in me. I'm not a hustler, pimp, gangster, gangster, but trust me, they all in me.
I got it when the moon shifted the doom in the melanated womb, sipping milk in the honeydew and triple black boom. Touchdown, traveling on planet Earth where we crush clowns, while I'm managing this curse and preparing the elixir that turns copycats into kitty litter. These poor pussies pretending to be misters. I cannot sin, but I can be very sinister. My limitations are limited as I do a lap around the galaxy. Had to gather light and rally back and fuck the fallacy. And cause of that, I got labeled the antagonist. And it didn't help that I cuss and bun cannabis and bun candles and wear symbols of Orishas. And I put a hex on the heads of 7 preachers with one trailer spit aimed at the pulpit. Crush the crucifix, a whole tabernacle backflip. I'm not Catholic, but if I choose my bare resonance, you may just catch a glimpse of Lucifer semblance. Up and down Jacob's ladder with my melanin, the vessel of the fear not. You can find the devil in.
God's in me, I say that's so serious. Turn a nigga to a god, show you I'm serious. Got him proclaiming, name changing and facing with no guilt or fear. All these clansmen masons, we stand on squares. Circumscribe our own circumference. Goddess Lakshmi bless me with abundance of prosperity. I speak with clarity, not to confuse. Put Moorish in front everything from Christian to Jews. I'm the anchor, so I don't listen to news on some snail type vibrations, making me snooze. Calling a prophet to call down our UFO crews like Yahweh or Dogan shamans. We call on Ra Amen for sun ritual, spiritual. I'm physically trapped. Rewind, play back, and get your pioneer tapped like Gregory Hines when I'm spitting the rhymes. A&Rs want me to blow, but all rights reserved when we sign. In the melanin cause me DMV, the link up with no cheese. Orishas in me, I'm not what you don't see. I'm not one of those armchair revolutionaries. Allah's in me. Sick and tired of being sick and tired, but that's just where we get our strength, man. The Christ is in me. I'm not a hustler, pimp, gangster, gangster, but trust me, they all in me.
All right, so let's fertilization. On the Guru, on into Shula, Otika, Chieka, Cheroa, Alcala, Mateo, Capello, Lalila. I need some Halana shades. Issa, Hamu, Noku, Hana, Ilatu, Chichi, Chuba, Elba, and Gati, and Simbo, Yusala, Isala, Abimu, Pazuzu, Numaresh, Aronia,